2011 Silverado door handle replacement. Okay, to take off the door panel, you gotta release that screw and that screw. Well, actually, it's those two and that one behind the the lever. So 3 of them. There's a plastic plate. Take them off. 10mm bolts, 3 of them. You pop this off all the way around. It's probably easier to start at the bottom. However, at the bottom there are 2 hooks that gotta kind of come up and out. So just start popping. Alright, y'all, remember that when you're ordering these parts, there's a left side and a right side. Left side would be the driver's side, passenger is right, and if you're sitting in the car facing the windshield, that's how you determine left and right when ordering parts. So the left side, or the right side rather, passenger, goes like this on the door. It's upwards on the linkage here, and then you always insert your rod on the outside towards the inside, because they have that locking clip. If you put it from the inside out, you know, trying to extract it or remove it again might damage it, break it, mess with the little lock. So from the outside in, like so. That in, good, that goes in. Bend it all the way in. On the outside, stick that rod through the holes out there. There, you can see them. See the daylight? And that's what it looks like on the inside of the... Okay, that's what you're looking at. In case you need to break yours off or whatever. Okay. Okay, and because aftermarket parts, even original parts, never align, you have the guides there, the plastic tab that came through. But the screw itself, you're gonna need to mess with it a little bit. Should have some play. I'm not sure if you can get good light in there, but it's not. That's why. Alright, so you should feel the nuts, or I'm sorry, the screws, the bolts grab the plastic. You don't want to over tighten these, okay? Just do it. I use like a long extension, work out here where it's nice and comfortable. Hand tight everything. Make sure you're not cross threading, because you're, you know, bolting onto plastic and glue. So just kind of, you know, set them, and then I would just do like a quarter turn maybe, just to, you know, torque them down about that much. Alright, y'all, if you don't want to be dropping your bolt a million times while you're trying to, you know, fish it through the, you know, small cavities, and you have that rod there in the way, gonna come in right through this side. That plastic protectant that it came covering the chrome, you can use, rip off a piece, stick your bolt in there, make sure it's not gonna fall off easily. And when you're inserting your handle from the outside towards the inside, make sure that the rod, the linkage rod, is gonna come in correctly, because it can have a tendency to get caught on that side, and then you have to disassemble it and redo everything. How would I know that? Right, another quick tip, I would line the foam onto the panel itself. That way you have all your holes aligned where they need to go, and you're not having to fight it while the you know, putting the foam first and then trying to insert all these grommets afterwards. That way it's just already in there. When you come up to the metal door, it just snaps into place, and that should keep itself aligned. Also, when you're taking this off, get your electrical connection off first, because the linkage here is kind of short for the door. As you can see, just twist it all the way around to where you can get those 2 pins compressed to be able to slide it off of the linkage on the plastic that stays with the plastic. Okay, so I'm gonna connect this first and then connect my electrical for the window afterwards, because this has way more slack by far, like a foot at least. All right, so the electrical goes in second. The cable linkage is a little tricky because it's so short, but my son helped me do it, so it's a two-man job if you want to get it done in less than 5 minutes. The foam is gonna come off while you're trying to maneuver and everything. The tab that releases the power to the window, the orientation is the release tab goes towards the back of the door panel. Okay, it's hard to see it, so if the tab is backwards or towards the back of the door, you're orientated correctly, slide it up and it'll click in. On the linkage, you want to put the little ball bearing on the cylinder first, and then pull back on the plastic tab with the locks to maneuver it through the slit to where the plastic tab locks. Okay, and then after you get all that situated, go ahead and fix your foam back to the grommets and the grooves where it goes. That way when you pop it into the door on these holes, it's already there. Everything should be aligned, snapped in, and that'll complete the job. The bottom hooks, you see how they have to go from the top down. You can't slide them over, so start kind of high on the door, let those sit, and then push in all the pop locks. When you're reinstalling this tab, that's kind of like the lock to hold on to the threads, so that it, you know, if you want to do it manually with your hand to open it and close it, when you're putting this door panel back on, lock the door so that the rod goes down. It gives you good clearance. If it's up, you have to kind of work around it to be able to snap the plastic back into place. Okay, this tab, just open it, slide it back where it goes, lock it, and that'll keep it functional again.